So the function of adipose tissue is it acts as an insulation for retaining body heat. That means it does not allow body heat to escape from our body. Then fibrous connective tissue. Fibrous connective tissue, it is of two types. It consists of fiber forming cells, tendon and ligaments. It is of two types, tendons and ligaments. Tendons connect muscles to bones and ligament connects one bone to another bone. Once again, I'm repeating, tendon binds bones with the muscles and ligament binds one bone to another bone. Then, so I have discussed already about connective tissue proper. Now, I am discussing about connective tissue, supportive connective tissue. Supportive connective tissue, it consists of cartilage and bones. You know that the bone forms the framework of our body and provides strength to our body. Uh, Cartilage is soft bones. It is also, you know, that a kind of connective tissue, soft bones. It is flexible and mm, it is non-porous and provide strength to some of the organs of our body. So what are the differences between cartilage and bones? Now, one thing, the cells actually, cartilage cartilage cells are called chondrocytes, and the bone cells are called osteocytes. You just try to keep it in mind. Cartilage cells are called chondrocytes and bone cells are called osteocytes. Now, what are the differences between cartilage and bone? Cartilage firm but elastic. For example, our external ear, our tip of nose, cartilage is present there. You can easily bend your external ear or your nose, your tip of your nose. That is why it is firm but elastic. Bones firm but brittle. We cannot fold our bones. Then cartilage, it is non-porous. Bone, it is porous. And 3 number point, cells are called chondrocytes and cells are called osteocytes. Then it lacks blood supply. Cartilage lacks blood supply, but bones its own blood supply. It has its own blood supply. Then fluid connective tissue. Fluid connective tissue divided into two types, blood and lymph. The function of blood and lymph almost same, but in blood is red in color because it contains RBC, but lymph, it is yellowish in color. It does not contain RBC. Now, blood. What is the composition of blood? Blood consists of two substances. The fluid portion of blood is called blood plasma, and blood cells or blood corpuscles remain in the blood plasma. So it has two parts, plasma and blood corpuscles. Blood plasma is a straw colored fluid in which blood corpuscles suspended. There are three types of blood cells. You know that RBC, that is red blood cell, WBC, that is white blood cell, and blood platelets. Now the function of RBC is to carry oxygen because it contains hemoglobin, and mainly hemoglobin helps in carrying oxygen, so it is the function of RBC. So there are two functions of RBC: provide red color to the blood and helps in carrying oxygen. WBC provide immunity in our body. That means it fight against the foreign bodies and keep us away from diseases. That is why it provides immunity in our body. Then blood platelets. Its function is to help in blood clotting. So this is all about blood. Then lymph is also a very transparent light yellow fluid. It is chemically similar, I have already told you, chemically similar to blood, except blood plasma, except that it contains very little protein and does not contain RBC. I told already. Then nervous system. Then we have two types of coordination in our body, nervous coordination and chemical coordination. Nervous coordination, that means coordinating between the different parts of our body, different organs of our body through nerves or nerve cells. So nervous tissue consists of nerve cells. You know that the tissue always consists of a number of cells. So nervous tissue also made up of a number of nerve cells. These nerve cells are also called neuron. Now a bundle of nerve cells form nerve. Once again I am repeating, nervous tissue consists of nerve cells or neuron. That means another name of nerve cell is neuron. A bundle of nerve cells form nerves. A neuron is, that means a neuron is the structural and functional unit of nervous system. So neuron is the structural and functional unit of nervous system. The diagram of neuron is given here. See the diagram. So neuron has three main parts, and in some book you can get that it has two parts, mainly two parts. One head-like structures which is called cell body or cyton or perikaryon, and the long slender portion which is called axon. And from cell body, I mean from the cytoplasm of cell body, some branched structures are coming out. These are called dendrons, and the branches of dendrons are called dendrites. So dendrites are the cytoplasmic extensions of cyton. Once again I am repeating, dendrites or dendrons are the cytoplasmic extensions of cell body or cyton. And axon has different parts. See, the gaps are called nodes of Ravier, and the outermost layer of axon, it is not given here, still I think it's given in your book. Outermost layer of axon is called neurilemma, and next to neurilemma there is an insulating sheath which is called myelin sheath. Schwann cell is showing here. Actually the main function of Schwann cell is to form myelin sheath. And action ending or action terminals, knob-like structures are found there. This is called action ending or action terminals. So this is all about the structure of neuron. Now what is the function of nervous system or nervous tissue? The nervous tissue controls and integrates the activities of various parts of the body. I have already told you that we have nervous coordination in our body, which helps in coordinating between the different body parts of our body. It provides sensation, perceptions, carrying message from one part of our body to another part. So this is all about nervous system. So I have completed the chapter briefly, and you just go through the chapter nicely, and afterwards I will give you some questions, for monthly test. Monthly test questions will be given to you. Try to solve the questions at home, and you must try to draw the diagram given from this chapter. A lot of diagram. You think structure of neuron, then different types of epithelial tissue, then muscular muscle fibers. Okay, so this type of diagram you have to practice at home and differentiate between the different types of muscle fibers. What are the differences between voluntary muscle, involuntary muscle and cardiac muscle? It is given by making columns probably in your book. What are the differences between RBC and WBC? I think you can write the answer. So this type of questions you have to practice at home and go through the exercise questions also.